Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Burnt Denim, the podcast where we spread knowledge, instill passion, and generate conversation. Today, we are doing something a little bit different in a good way.
In a great way.
So I'm kind of excited about this. We're going to be mixing it up. Before we get into the big change, we're going to go over a segment that we always do called Explain That Fit. So, Max, do you want to explain the fit that you're wearing?
Yes, I will explain the fit. So I am wearing some minimal switch up? No, minimal snap cargos. If you watch that, Is It Justified on minimal? Fear of God, Maxfield black slip-on Vans, a Harley tee, and a Gildan sweatshirt.
You are switching up on every single thing. That's
Don't watch the other
fast
episodes.
fashion, brands outside of your lifestyle, and brands
I mean, this
that
isn't necessarily fast fashion, but it's a little bit. But anyway, Nick, what do you have
Gildan,
on?
would you consider Gildan like a fast fashion thing?
They're more of like a supply. Well, they don't. You don't usually go to a Gildan store. They supply blanks to people to print on.
Straight from the manufacturer.
Straight from the manufacturer.
Or Walmart.
Nick, what do you have on?
So today, I am dressed pretty simple. Like we talked about in the
Simple
last
flex.
episode, I am still in the process of moving. So with that, I have limited access to clothing. So I kind of just grab the first thing that's on top of my pile of clothes. So starting from the top going down, I'm wearing a black Maverick City Music hat. Pretty simple black trucker hat. I'm wearing the Ye Must Be Born Again Cactus Plant Flea Market hoodie. A black vintage Aerosmith tee.
Ooh, the Smith.
Vintage Levi's, and the Nike Stussy slides.
Did you just get those?
Like a month ago.
Oh, I haven't actually seen them yet.
I've worn
this
them
is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Exploring new fits.
Yeah. I was gonna put on actual shoes and like, they don't see my feet.
Yeah.
Plus, I was kind of running a little bit.
But now
so
you
I was
know
like,
because he just got exposed. But anyway, Nick, tell them about this switch that we're doing for this episode.
Usually we would do an Is It Justified? However, we figured we'd mix it up a little bit and give you guys some new content and also let you guys know a little bit more about us and some of our tendencies and likes, dislikes, personal stories, things like that. So today we're going to be going over, not even going over, but almost like a Q&A with me and Max.
Yeah.
So we'll be asking each other a wide array of different questions. Hopefully, I think mine are all regarding fashion. I don't know what your
mine are all
questions
regarding fashion.
Yeah, so we don't know each other's questions, so it's kind of like a on the spot.
Yeah.
Blind date questionnaire.
Yes. So you're going to know more about us.
So this is first reaction.
Yes, first reaction.
I don't know any of these. So Max, do you want to start us off and then we'll kind of go back and forth, question and question?
We'll go back and forth.
I try to match the intensity that you do.
Okay. Sounds good. I have, we're going to kind of feel it out with time, but I have like 8 questions, but we'll start with my first question, which is this. Nick, if you could only wear one shoe for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Only one shoe?
Ooh, this is a good one.
I'd
One
say
shoe.
Nike Blazer.
Ooh, why?
It's just one of my favorite shoes. I like it. And it's like simple. It's clean. It's like comfortable. You can wear it with anything depending on the color. I feel like you can wear it in the forest if you had to go there. You can wear it.
So you think it's survival
You can wear
too?
it on a run.
Okay.
You can wear it to play basketball. You can wear it any sort of situation. I feel like it fits. It's sleek. It's not too thick.
Okay.
But it's not too thin, so it also matches the styles as they change over time.
Oh,
So,
Nick has.
I'd say that
I almost think Nick has heard this question.
If you can get the white ones with the black check, the black swoosh, or black ones with a white swoosh, then you can wear that with anything.
Nick, what a great answer. That was well thought out and explained. I love it. Great. What is your first question for me?
My first question is this. So Travis Scott recently did a collab with McDonald's.
Yes.
If you could collab with any food chain, who would you choose and why?
That is good. If I could collab with any... Nick came with the heater questions. Okay, if I could collab with any food chain, who would I collab with? I have 2 in mind, and I'm choosing between them right now. Okay, I'm going to go Taco Bell.
Taco Bell?
I'm going to go
What's the other?
I was thinking Popeyes. But Popeyes, I feel like, doesn't have as wide of an influence. So I'm going to go Taco Bell. One, because it would allow me to collaborate. Like one of the aspects of collaboration is getting it to the most people and being able to like see it the most. So there's a huge range in that. But also growing up, Taco Bell was my favorite fast food. So I feel like Travis Scott, why he did McDonald's is because, you know, he had ties to that growing up. For me, ties growing up would be Taco Bell. I would always go there with my family. And so I just had that's special to me. It was near the school I went to. And so I would do Taco Bell. And I also feel like
what would your meal be?
My meal would include it'd be cheese heavy. It'd be a chicken quesadilla, a soft taco, and 2 cheesy roll-ups.
You know what's good from Taco Bell if you guys never got it? Spicy potato soft taco. I'm putting you guys on right now.
I've never heard of that. I'm going to try that. But yes, I would do Taco Bell. That was a good question, Nick. I like that one. Nick, next one for you. Think about this one.
I don't know what to expect.
If you could raid one person's closet, I'm thinking famous person generally, and take as many items as you wanted from it, who would it be and why?
Who would it be and why?
This is a good one.
So would the sizing account for it?
Ooh.
Or if it's like,
you know,
I go through this person's closet, but they wear like 2 sizes too small for me.
That's fair.
Something like that.
For this hypothetical question, it will fit you.
It will fit me?
Yes. So
I'd say this is going to sound... Well, I have 2 answers in my mind.
Okay. What are the 2 answers?
One... The first one is Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, how did I know he was thinking of that?
Have you heard the story about when Kanye did that? Yeah. That's crazy. But I just feel like he has such like interesting things, and I feel like they all have like some sort of unique emotional attachment to him. So there's that. But I also was going to say the super cliche one, I'd say like Virgil. Yeah. Just because he has... The thing about him is like he doesn't wear only his own brands. He gets so there's like a number of different things that he would have. Yeah. That you would like actually wear too. And if you look at how he dresses like pretty casual. So I feel like it's fair enough. Like it's easy enough to wear. Yeah. You know. So that's what I would say.
I'd agree. Yeah. That is a good answer. That is a good answer.
Yeah. So my question for you,
raiding someone's closet would be cool.
Is I have a couple different questions.
Okay.
All right. So, what is your first thought when you see someone wearing a pair of shoes worth over $1,000?
My very initial thought. Yeah. Are they fake? That is always. Really? I'm pessimistic. I'm cynical. I would say my first thing when I see someone wearing a pair over $1,000, that I know is worth over $1,000. My first question is it fake, and did they actually spend that? My next question is, did they get it for retail, or did they pay resale for it? And third is, do they deserve to have that because they can't put together a good outfit? Those are my Those are my 3 things. But the first thing always is it fake? And I always try to look for telltale signs. That's just me. I'm like always like trying to investigate. Like, is it really? So I don't know.
That's funny because like your initial thought isn't like, oh, that's cool of that person. It's kind of like you're skeptical of some.
I had to give the truth. I think. Well, people that I know that I would when I see it, then I'm like, it's cool. But if it's someone I don't know. If I have to be honest, it's going to be, is it fake? Just because there's so many fakes out there, and I don't know what I can trust.
I was at IKEA the other day, and I saw this guy wearing the Dior Converse. And I was like, this man really dropped like $900 on a pair of Converse. I'm like...
I know. I think, that's my next question is like, did they actually pay retail or resale? I mean, those are high retail, but like for a lot of shoes, did they pay the retail? Did they pay resale? Yeah, that is my first thought. What do you guys think? When you see someone wearing expensive shoes, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so this is... This question, Nick, is a very calculated decision that could involve life or death. You ready? Would you rather be punched in the face by Mike Tyson or have to wear a head-to-toe champion outfit with Fila disruptors every day for a week?
Ooh. I'm wearing that outfit. I can't take this man, Mike Tyson. Have you seen this man?
Yes, but it's equal pain.
Equal pain.
What if you worked for...
And one pain actually lasts longer.
That's true. That is a calculation. I don't know what I would do.
Also, I feel like it would kind of be a good story to be punched by Mike Tyson, actually.
True. You'd be there had to be a reason that he punched you, so you're doing well in life, hopefully. Or
I actually
really
feel like I might have like damage, like long-term brain damage.
Yeah, you probably would. Or you'd die.
Or I'd die. It actually is literally.
But is death is it worse than wearing head-to-toe champion with Fila disruptors?
Because in a way, that's social suicide, which is worse. You die slowly.
Nick and I have talked about our hate for the Fila disruptors.
So I'd say I'd have to go with the outfit. Yeah. I just can't live physically.
He went with the physical route rather than the social route. That's
the
good.
Emotional.
But this is something to ponder.
Cool. All right. So my question for you is, what is the most underrated streetwear brand in your opinion?
Most underrated streetwear brand, in my opinion. Most underrated. Ooh, that's good. I think one brand that's pretty underrated, I think we've mentioned them before, and I don't own any pieces myself, but I think they're cool, and just due to the fact that, Off-White and all these other brands are so big. One of the underrated ones, I feel like Heron Preston. Have you seen some of his? Yeah. Like, he's talked about, but most people don't really know who he is. And I feel like it's underrated just because he's doing a lot of stuff kind of like Virgil does with that breaking, like trying new concepts and stuff, but people don't talk about it as much. And I think he definitely has a valuable creative mind. So that's what I would say. Yeah. Heron Preston. I don't own anything from him. I own like one of his diffusion line things, but I think he's pretty underrated, and I think he has like some good talent as a designer. Yeah. So
I was thinking of just the hundreds. I feel like they're so cool. Yeah. So simple.
True. I guess I went the more designer streetwear route just because that's where my mind went. But yeah, I think the hundreds, because they were huge in the early
the hundreds is huge
2000s, but the hundreds is super sick. Bobby Hundreds.
This is a cool guy.
He went to UCSD for a while, which is where I go. So that's kind of shout out to UCSD. So
is that the school he dropped out of? I know he went to law school.
He also dropped out of another school, I think, but he went double dropout.
Which is crazy because he's like the smartest guy.
Yeah,
so, like,
he is. Yeah, no, hundreds. Honestly, that I would also say that is another underrated brand, but to certain people, it's not. I just felt like one that's completely underrated, so that's the route I went.
Yeah, it's regionally too.
Good question. Kind of along that question, what brand, or can you think of a brand that you're most excited to see develop and see what they have in store for the future? Like maybe one you've been following, or even one that's popular, but you're just excited for the future and what they could bring to the table.
Excited for the future.
I know you have to give some time to think because we've never heard these before, so we haven't formulated answers yet. So these are all on the spot.
Honestly, and I know this is also cliche, but also like I'd say all my like friends brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Bless the Youth with Elijah or like Church with Blake.
Yeah.
They're all starting to do like new things now, which is crazy, and I feel like I'm excited to see it develop because I know the potential that it has. So sort of waiting to see that unfold and things come out of that. I think I'm looking forward to. I think that's going to be cool when it builds up, because I feel like right now it's still like in the beginning stage. Right.
That is a good answer.
That's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Is there is there any mainstream that you can think of, or
mainstream ones?
You don't have to. I just.
I don't know. I guess I'd say Chinatown Market in a way, because I think the whole like they fit into like a certain culture. Yeah. So I think it's sort of like playing off like the bootlegs and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's interesting to see what happens to them in the future, because I think that's going to reflect what's happening in fashion and streetwear in general. Okay. Their success or failure depends on where culture as a whole turns. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of like a first thought answer.
Dude, that's a good answer too. I'm excited for them too. I have a couple of pieces, but they're super cool. Yeah. Check them out, Chinatown Market, if you haven't.
Chinatown Market. Yeah, I actually have the Mike Tyson shirt from them.
Oh, that's
funny.
Well,
so
we know his answer. I got it punched in the
face. Cool. So, what are the top 3 Instagram pages to follow for outfit inspiration?
Ooh, top 3 Instagram pages to follow for outfit inspiration. That's a good one. I'd say, one that comes to mind because you put me on it. Nick put me on it when we were actually starting Burnt Denim, but Ray G. Maya. Right? That's how you say it? Yes, that's a cool one to follow because that dude has some nice fits, and Nick put me on him. So that's one. Another one that I like to follow, just because this is again biased because I'm a Kanye fan, but there's like Kanye Wearing. Mm-hmm. It's called like Kanye Wearing, and they release like different outfits, like old ones of his and new ones of his. And again, that's biased. If you like Kanye's style, then that's one to follow. But that's one that I think gives me a lot of outfit inspiration and ideas. And there's a few others that are specific. Like there's one called Jerry Lorenzo Aesthetic that I like. But just one of the biggest ones too is just like like hypebeast style and stuff like that. Although it's mainstream, it shows you what kind of culture is going towards and what people are liking. And that one helps you get a gauge on if you like where it's going or not, and if you want to follow that or going, what trends are in, what trends are out.
Yeah.
But like hypebeast and hypebeast style is another one that I don't know. That's hard because I don't necessarily look to it for outfit inspiration, but I look to it to see where the trends are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a good one. There's like there's this other guy that I follow. I think his name's Miller.
Just Miller.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Miller. Don't quote me on that, but he has a lot of outfits too. And another one that I used to follow until he switched up, Lil Jupiter. Like Lil Jupiter, he used to post these mood boards with just all these different things, not even just outfits, but that I would like following and getting ideas from. But now he's kind of switching to kind of his own thing, which is cool. But that was another one.
This is like a sub question, but what do you think about Instagram mood boards? Because I feel like those are kind of really popular right now. At least what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think mood boards are cool because it allows people to just get their thoughts out on Instagram and other people to take inspiration from it. And it can be just a random picture of a Pokemon card or a full like nice outfit from the Grammys or something. So I think it's cool because it doesn't fit into one category, but it just allows for kind of a dump of ideas. Yeah. And you to like get inspiration.
Refer back to later on too, if you're doing it.
Yeah. I definitely do like them. Let's see what I want to ask you next. Oh, okay. So I have about like 4 questions left. But one that I am really interested, this is the one I'm most interested for your answer in, is to you, what is an indicator to you that someone has good style? Like, is there an indicator that you're like, wow, that person has good style? And there could be more than one indicator, but.
Yeah. I think 2 things: that they don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money to look good. Because I feel like some people buy like one expensive thing and then just throw on whatever they want with it, and then they're like, oh, I'm cool. Yeah. Just because of that. But I feel like everything has to sort of blend together and sort of like match, not like match color wise, but like it all has to be like, it has to flow as one.
Right.
Does that answer make sense?
No, yeah. So where it's like they don't need the most expensive things. They know how to put together an outfit for a certain amount of money. Like, that's good. And
also too, I think, well, I guess that kind of was both of them, that they don't need to spend a lot of money. They can wear like cheap things and still look good. I guess too, it comes with like knowing their body type and controlling their silhouette and, like knowing what looks good on them. Yeah. And sort of building off of that. And you can kind of see that when you see like sure, that's a cool like jacket, but it probably doesn't fit your style. You know what I mean? So I feel like when people understand what fits them and then wearing that, then I think it looks good. You know?
Yeah. So that's like literally the answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. Is there, on the flip side, is there something that indicates bad style to you?
I wouldn't say that there's one specific thing. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Well, the thing about style is like it's all like personal preference, you know? So it may not necessarily be bad style, but style that I don't like. What I do notice is sort of exactly the opposite of what I was saying before. Like when people wear stuff outside of their comfortability, you know, like if they're like, you're like a super introverted person, you wear like this checkered pants and then a hot pink jacket, then it's like it's like you're not a loud person, so it doesn't match you. Okay. And you can tell that they're sort of uncomfortable wearing it. I guess that kind of like answers it. When you're uncomfortable in your clothes that you're wearing, I feel like that's bad style versus like, because you can be wearing a great outfit but be uncomfortable in it, and I think that would be considered bad style because your personal confidence is down with it. Ooh, right? Okay. Or you could be wearing a terrible outfit that I would consider bad, but you're comfortable in it because it fits you. Like I would consider
Nick
that
is
good
dropping
style.
some wisdom. Right? I love it. Yeah, right? I agree.
Because I mean, you think about style, it's all like up to the individual. Okay. So it's sort of like preference, I'd say. So that's what I would consider bad and good style.
Nick, that was the most thorough answer. I love that, Nick. That was great. Sweet.
Cool. Oh yeah, my turn. So what is the most worn article of clothing in your closet?
Wow.
So you can do one like one shirt,
Okay.
like one pair of pants and one
Okay.
pair of shoes.
One pair of shoes. Okay.
Most worn.
That's good because a lot of my nice stuff I don't wear very often. I kind of wear my comfortable stuff, especially with quarantine. But I'm gonna assume like just in regular, we're going out. I would say my most worn thing. Ooh. Okay, my T-shirt would be this just black. I've worn it on the show before. Just this black T-shirt that I thrifted at Goodwill by Shockaway. It's just this heavy black distressed, like old black tee because I just like simplicity in T-shirts most of the time. That's my most worn T-shirt. My most worn pair of pants. Ooh, there's a few that I kind of rotate a lot. A lot of time I am wearing Nike sweats. Like a lot of time, just like my comfortable Nike sweats, but they're not like. I don't know, but there's not like sloppy sweats. They're like my nice, like black, clean, like tech sweats that I wear a lot. They're kind of baggy, but I also really wear my minimal snap pants a lot too. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go with those Nike. And then aside from, I'm not counting like basketball shorts I just wear when I'm lounging around the house because that's no fun. But like, and then shoes. I wear my Jordan 1 metallic white and metallic red. Sorry. Jordan 1s a lot. And I also just wear my Fear God Vans a lot. So those two are probably interchangeable as my most worn shoe just because I can throw them on. I don't get worried. Sometimes when I wear my really nice shoes, I get like, ooh, I got to wear these, make sure that I'm not going to go anywhere where I get them dirty. But those ones, I'm not worried about that. And so those are my most worn pieces of clothing. And my Harley Davidson hat.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a good question. That makes me think because I do wear that shirt definitely the most out of all that though. That is like my trusty shirt this is my go-to.
Old reliable.
Never reliable.
Fails.
Never has. Never will.
Never can.
Okay, this is kind of a similar question, but if you could only keep one item in your closet, what would it be and why? Not meaning that you're going to like have no clothes for the rest of your life, but you have to get rid of all your clothes, get new clothes, but you can only keep one item. And I'm talking about one. It can be one pair of pants or one shirt or one pair of shoes, not like
I'd
one
say
outfit.
if I can only keep one thing, honestly,
why?
I'd say my Off-White Air Force Ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Not because like the financial value, but because like my wife got those for me on my 21st birthday because I don't like drink or anything.
Yeah.
So that was like, it was like sort of like an equal significance thing of as opposed to like going out for like.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd say like Off-White Air Force Ones for me just because the sentimental attachment that's also there with it. Like I would never sell those.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about, like me and my wife have had conversations to where it's going to be so interesting in like 20, 25 or however long when our kids grow up and then sort of like see some of the things that we have and then seeing to where it's like, not necessarily they're going to be more valuable then, but they're going to be like so cool, I would say, That's
true. You'll have those Off-Whites from 2016, 2017 or whatever, or 2018 actually. Yeah. And then it's going to be years later.
Like imagine if your dad had a whole bunch of like 1985 Jordan 1s or different like things like that are like significant at that time releases. So I think that's going to be interesting where it's like, oh, they have this shirt from the 90s when it's like 2030 or 20 however long in the future to where it's like equally as cool, I'd say.
I like that. Yeah, that is a really good. That's a good interpretation of it. Not so much as what I can wear today, but what in the future, long term, am I going to want to keep? That's good. Yeah, I like that.
And like, what would you want to pass down as well?
Yeah,
because I never thought about it like that, but my wife was sort of like, oh, it'd be interesting to see, our kids wear these as well.
Yeah,
so I'm like.
That's good. I like that. Good answer.
If they last that long.
True, if the world is still around.
Yeah, so another question for you, sort of building off what I was saying. So has your interest in fashion ever been a source of conflict in your relationship?
Ooh.
Whether it's like how much money you spend on things or how much like you're taking too long at the store or like you're taking too long to get ready or like something like that.
Yes, it hasn't been to where it's like we needed to take a break or like it was like overtaking the importance of my relationship with Sarah. It's never been like that, but it has been like She'll be like, babe, you just bought a pair of shoes. And you're buying a shirt now, and you want to buy another pair of shoes that's coming out? You already have enough shoes. And I'll be like, oh, you don't understand. I'm like, babe, but they're not the same shoes. This shoe, I'll try to explain to her. And she appreciates that I like it. That's what I can say about Sierra. She appreciates that I love it, and she has gotten into it. But if we're being real, I do make some dumb decisions sometimes when I'm like, I don't need to buy this, but I just did. And so, yes, it has been a source of conflict to where sometimes where I'm buying it, and another time to where I talk about it to her so much where she's like, babe, can we talk about something else? I'll be like, babe, this release is coming out, and I just did this, and I just did this, and like, I love talking about clothing. The reason we started this podcast is because we love talking about fashion. And this has actually helped because I don't talk about it as much with Sierra. I don't need to because I have Nick to talk about with it on the podcast. But yes, it has been both to where I'm like, okay, I can't be spending this because Sierra's like, why are you buying another pair of shoes or this? But also to the point where I just talk about it to her so much, and I have to realize she doesn't care as much as I do. And so it's not even where like it's her fault or anything. I understand where she's coming from, but yes, it has. Have you felt that before? It's never been, like I said, it's never been to where we're in huge arguments and mad, but.
Right. Well, I think there's a couple different things there's a few different situations I can think of. A lot of times, like, I don't know if it's like this for Sierra, but with Andrea, like if I'm interested in something and if I'm making like a purchase of significance, Andrea is kind of like, oh, that means I can also get something of equal value. Oh. And I'm like, well, I can't say it makes sense. Right. So I'm like, sure. So like I'll end up getting like like when I got like a pair of Jordan 1s, for example, she'll also get like a different pair of Jordans or something like that. Okay. And the thing too, like she's a lot more thoughtful to where it's not like, oh, I'll just get whatever. She's like, oh, I'd rather save up and get the more expensive thing. Yeah. So like I have Off-White Air Force One. She has Off-White Prestos, right? Flex. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah. To where it's like almost everything I have, she also sort of matches. So there's kind of, it's not really a conflict, but it's sort of like,
it's a tough position.
Oh yeah, like maybe I shouldn't get that then, or something like that. Like it makes me double think. Also too, like you're saying, to where it's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be spending that much money. You just got this, or I'm like, no, I'll sell this. Yeah, and then
exactly.
I can get that. And then,
yes, and the logic doesn't make much sense.
You get them in, and then it's like, I can't sell them.
Yeah. I feel that. I've done that too. I'll be like, I'll sell them, and then I did it with the union. So I'm like, I'll sell them, and I'm like, no. Yeah, dude. We have had that, but yes, two questions left for Nick. Okay, we're getting down to it. And these ones are kind of light questions. These are very quick questions, actually. But I'm going to ask you, one is this. Just 3 words. This question is 3 words. Crocs or Birks? And why?
I'd say Crocs.
Ooh, okay.
Because they're only like $30. Yeah. And I feel like they're a lot more durable. I actually don't have... the only pair of Birks I got were actually the rubber ones.
Oh, okay.
So, and those are only like $30 or something like that. And I'm like, at that point, I should have just got Crocs. Because Crocs are like... better anyways. Yeah. I always feel like Crocs have become like a counter
cultural.
Yeah, countercultural, like an anti-fashion type of thing where it's cool to wear. So I'd say I like Crocs actually.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They're like functional.
I want a pair of Birks,
you can use them.
The closed-toed ones.
Yeah.
So if you had to go with one, you're going to go with Crocs at the end of the day.
I actually have a pair of Crocs that they're fuzzy on the inside and they don't have the holes, and you wear them inside. They're so comfortable.
That does actually sound comfy.
I've definitely say Crocs. Okay, actually,
I like the strong answer. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Sweet.
I have Birks are also so expensive.
True, but they do mold to your feet. That's the thing, and they like do last long because they're like But we don't know. We haven't owned a pair, so we'll have to maybe see one day.
What do you ever see someone like? Nikki, you know, you go to someone's house, you take off your shoes, they take off the Birks, and then it's like all black on the inside. I'm like, oh, wow.
You think it's dirty, but it's just actually fitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that actually might be why.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh. Anyways. So question for you.
Yes.
Is what trends do you like, but doesn't necessarily fit your personal style?
Ooh, what trends do I like but don't necessarily fit my personal style? Or
not even trends, but like things in general.
Things that yeah.
But it's like I like that, but it just doesn't.
I just don't think I could pull it off. Yeah, I think I really like when people wear slacks or like they mix like the slacks with like the Jordan 1. And I think I tried it once, but it doesn't look good, and I wish it looked good on me. Maybe I'll try it again one day. But I really like when people mix like dress, like button-ups, slacks, and then they have a pair of Jordan 1s and a vest, or like they mix the street and high end, and I really like that, but I just don't think I can pull it off. Like I know I can't. I've tried it before, and maybe I'll try it again. Also because button ups don't look the best on me, but yeah, I really like that trend. I also really like one that I don't know if I could pull it off. I don't think I can, but maybe I'll try one day. But I really like the whole John Mayer, like Visvim, like oversized coats and
long,
all
flowy.
that stuff. And and I also actually really want a pair of Visvim moccasins, really bad. But
Those are so expensive.
I know they're so expensive. They're so cool though. But I really like those trends. The mixing of like business, all high end with street, and that is that kind of John Mayer Visvim. If you don't know what that is, we'll put up a picture. But
it's like
style.
Japanese Americana brand. Yeah.
Exactly. So I really like those two, but I just don't think I can pull them off.
Yeah.
But they're
Makes
really
sense.
cool. And
Last question.
last question, Nick. Save this one. Save the best for last. You ready? Okay. On a scale of 8 to 10, how much did I inspire your style development? But actually, really, this was kind of a joke question on how I inspired his style development.
But actually,
But not even necessarily just me, but like people, your friends, I guess, is a better
So
question.
8 to
How
10.
much have they?
out of 8 to 10,
Yeah.
I'd say 9 is somewhere in the middle.
Perfect.
Because I think
I'll take that.
I think sometimes I like to bounce ideas off people to where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, what do you think about this? Or, oh, what do you think about this? But I feel like I try to get a lot of my inspiration from outside sources. And to not try and be very like,
The same person as you.
right.
Yeah.
So I try to like diversify my influences.
His investments. I'm
Right.
just kidding. Yeah, your influences. Yeah.
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 Diversify my portfolio.
The bigger
Does that make
question to
sense?
think about. Yeah. No, the
But
bigger
if
question.
I wear something and someone's like roasting me, then it's like,
You're like, oh, maybe I'll
Well, it
double
depends.
check
It
this
depends.
one. It does
Yeah.
depend unless you're very confident in it.
Yeah.
But yes. So basically, what I know from that is that Nick stole all of his ideas from me. I'm just kidding.
you have me to thank for where you are in life right now. All right. Last question. I felt like I asked some really good ones.
Nick has asked. I really loved that first one with the fast food one. That one
Yeah.
is a good.
I should have saved that one.
No,
Okay.
no. I wasn't trying to say that. It was just really good. But,
All right. So how about this? I didn't write this one down.
Oh, okay.
But what would you say the top 3 either fashion brands or designers or influences that you have that you would recommend people to look into?
Okay. Yeah.
Like
In order or just 3?
just 3.
Okay. For someone new getting into fashion?
Yeah.
Someone
to
new
where
getting
it's
into
like,
fashion. Okay.
yeah.
I would tell them, this is going to be so obvious, and just because this is what got me into fashion, I'm going to tell them fear of God to look into, and I'm not even recommending necessarily that they buy pieces because pieces can be very expensive. When you're getting into fashion, looking into these brands to get ideas is what it's all about. And maybe, buying like an essential something, or if you have the money, awesome. But fear of God, because a lot of my friends, first of all, like I just love how Jerry Lorenzo is a Christian designer, and that was one of the big things for me is like his Christian roots, and because obviously I'm Christian, and so I would tell my friends to look into it for that, and also because I just I feel like his designs work well with a lot of people. It's like the essentials, anybody can wear it,
Yeah.
guy, girl, whatever, and so I'm gonna tell them to look into fear of God. I'm gonna tell them to also. That one's just so obvious for me. I'm also going to tell them to look into... It's funny because I would tell them to like look into vintage, but that's not a brand. Because like vintage, a lot of people who have never been into clothing or whatever, when they look into vintage, they have such a wide array. So I'm not going to count that as a brand though, because that doesn't count. I would also tell them to look into... This is a really good question. I wouldn't say Off-White just because it's too basic. I'd also tell them to look into... I would also tell them, we mentioned it earlier too, because I also really like this brand, Chinatown Market, because people like graphic, like people who aren't into fashion, they really like graphics. I feel like, at least what I found, a lot of people that I'm friends with that aren't necessarily into fashion, they like graphics and like shirts that are like really cool and stuff.
Yeah.
And Chinatown Market, as we talked about, does a great job of like tapping into the culture and creating their own, whether it's a spoof or whether it's something original.
Yeah.
And creating these cool graphic t-shirts that are pretty easy to wear with a lot of things because it can be your loud piece and it's fun. I think brands like Chinatown Market put the fun back into fashion.
Right.
Just because everything's new, everything's exciting. It's like just a fun brand to get into. Yeah. So I really think that that they should look into that if they want to get excited about fashion.
Yeah. I also feel like too they do a lot of collabs that are pretty diverse. So like you're saying, they're pretty in touch with like the culture.
Yeah.
So if you get into them, you're also getting into everything they also are connected with. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think another brand that I think I would recommend to people. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend a lot of brands that are too loud aside from like Chinatown Market, just because people were getting into it, like knowing how to dress the basics. And another brand that I personally don't own any pieces of, but like I like to look at and I like what they do, and I would definitely turn someone to who's getting into fashion. And it is a little more expensive, but again, getting ideas just of simplistic outfits. I really like John Elliott. Like if you don't know who John Elliott is, I would say that too, because he does a great job of putting together simple outfits with like nice silhouettes. They're not as bold, I would say, as like a Fear of God or as even like a Louis Vuitton or something like that, but very simplistic, nice outfits that you can get more like essentials in your closets. Just me, I'm not gonna turn someone onto these crazy brands right off the bat because it might scare them away, but I still would like to include something like Chinatown Market, something like Fear of God, something like a John Elliott. One
I definitely would say, and we did an episode on this, so you can definitely refer back to it. It's like our second or third episode, but Jordan Brand. Yeah. Because it's such a rich history, and so many people, even if you're not super into fashion, you have some sort of knowledge. So it's definitely like a conversation piece as well.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking more clothing. Yeah. But yeah, shoes also, of course, Jordan Brand. I think there's so many brands. If I like sat down and really thought about it, I could map some out, but those are three that come to mind. And but yeah, sweet. Well, that was our Q&A. That was pretty fun. Like, we literally didn't know any of the questions, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll hopefully do another one of these soon again. But just continue to stay tuned. What do you have to say to
Well, if you're interested in us trying out different formats, or you have different ideas that we can try, I mean, we're pretty open and flexible. I know we're potentially thinking about changing some of the ways that we do things in the future. So if you have any ideas, like let us know, like text us, let us know in the comments,
DM us if you don't have our number.
Like that. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Follow us on Instagram at Burnt Denim. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Liking and sharing and all that helps the algorithm get us to more people. We always say like Burnt Denim doesn't just end with us too. It's a community thing. That's the goal of it. Yeah. So we want you guys to be interactive with this as well. And let us know if you have any other ideas or different things we want to work with. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's been fun. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Other than that,
peace.
Peace.